Welcome back to another one, you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Mitsubishi in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we're in the brand new 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross because there are a couple changes for the 2026 model year. This thing has got very unique styling, which I personally love. You do get America's best warranty, being 5 years, 60,000 mile bumper to bumper, 10 years, 100,000 miles on the powertrain. And at Younger Mitsubishi here in Hagerstown, Maryland, we double that powertrain warranty, putting you at 20-year, 200,000 miles on the powertrain. Things like the engine, transmission, drive shaft, things like that. So that's absolutely insane as well. So anyways, ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are so many different trim levels for the 2026 Eclipse Cross. You got the ES starting at $27,695, which by the way is a $1,150 bump from the 2025 model year. Got the LE for $29,295, SE for $30,395, Rally Art, which is the one we are in today, going for $31,245, Black Edition for $31,545, and lastly the SEL going for $31,845. But regardless of the trim level that you go with, the power plant on the Eclipse Cross is going to be the same. Powering the beast is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that puts out 152 horsepower, 5,500 RPM, 184 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 2,000 RPM. Power sent to all four wheels through Mitsubishi's rally-inspired four-wheel drive system, which they call Super All-Wheel Control. So essentially, this four-wheel drive system came from the development that Mitsubishi did for their rally cars, which raced in the snow and the dirt. So this thing was made to go off-road. So that's pretty darn cool as well, if you ask me. Power set to all four wheels through a CVT, 0 to 60 time approximately 8.6 seconds, with MPG numbers coming in at 25 in the city, 28 on the highway for the ES trim level, but then 25 city, 26 then on the highway for all other trim levels taking regular unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in the Eclipse Cross, I did want to mention to you guys the drive mode. It is an eco drive mode located in front of the shifter here. It's just one drive mode, essentially adjusting things like the shift points and the throttle response to give you a little better MPGs essentially. So now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find it straight away. Let's put this thing here to the test and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross here up to speed. All right, found our straightaway, wide open road here in 3, 2, 1, go! There we go, that's 60. It's okay. I mean, there wasn't that bad of a turbo lag. Honestly, I was expecting a lot of turbo lag because it is a turbocharged 4-cylinder after all, but it did all right when it comes to that, but it's just not the quickest thing in the world as expected. 0 to 60 in 8.6. It's nothing worth bragging about, but it does get the job done, so you shouldn't have any issues emerging onto the highway or anything like that. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 11.6-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 11.9-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 6-0 stopping distance goes, that comes in at 125 feet, which is pretty on par for the course on paper there. As far as braking feel goes, it's really nice, like super firm braking feel. I love it. A lot of times in SUVs you get a soft braking feel or a squishy braking feel even, but that's not the case in the Eclipse Cross. So love the firm braking feel on this thing. It instantly brings you to a stop, and like I said, 125 feet, that is right where you should be for this size of an SUV. So everything so far on point there. But then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get a McPherson strut front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. Overall, as far as ride quality goes, that as well has been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. I have had absolutely no issues when it comes to the ride quality. It's been absorbing the road imperfections perfectly fine for me. Now let's go ahead and touch on cabin noise. We are going 55 miles per hour right now, so this is the perfect test. I'll be quiet for a second. Seems fine to me. Absolutely no issues there. Then taking a look at rear visibility, looking at my rear view mirror here, I can see 100% perfectly fine. I remember back in the day, maybe the last generation Eclipse Cross, they had this horizontal bar that went across the back window there. It always kind of made rear visibility a little bit sucky, but it's gotten a lot better. I can see perfectly fine now. So absolutely no issues with that. Then touching on forward visibility a little bit as we're going super slow behind this semi truck up here. Rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard on the LE trim level and up, meaning whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's going to automatically turn on the windshield wipers for you. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like automatic headlights there. And there is a head-up display. It is optional on the SEL trim level, but that's the only trim level that you could possibly get it on. But that essentially is going to display your speed limit, and safety features up onto your windshield, better helping you keep your eyes on the road so you can better focus more of your attention on actually enjoying the drive. So that's pretty cool too. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior now of our brand new 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, finished in Labrador Black Pearl, in case you were curious of our exact exterior color name. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where the Eclipse Cross is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the letter J, indicating that the Eclipse Cross is built and assembled in Japan, a JDM SUV, specifically Okazaki, Japan, in case you were curious. But starting up front, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights do come standard for every single trim level across the board. You gotta appreciate that. Also, you do get the automatic feature for the SE trim level and up, and then automatic high beams for the LE trim level and up, meaning if you have your high beams on at night and it senses the vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up to high beams for you there. That's pretty cool. LED fog lights coming standard on all trim levels across the board. You got the Eclipse Cross lettering found on the front portion of that hood. Can't probably see it all too well because it is finished in black on our particular trim level, but not all the trim levels do get it finished in black. But you also get a black hood emblem for the SEL trim level, which is new for the 2026 model year. And then of course, front and center, you do have that intercooler tucked away behind the bottom portion of that front bumper, just like the Evo back in the day. Bring back the Evo as well, by the way, Mitsubishi. But like I said, since we have the Rally Art trim level with us here today, you're going to get a lot of Rally Art graphics. So I'm going to get up a little bit closer here. See that little Rally Art graphic on the bottom portion of that front lip there? That's pretty cool. A lot of extra red accents with the Rally Art as well. But that pretty much rounds out the front end of the Eclipse Cross. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, roof rails are going to be optional for all trim levels. Chrome window surrounds will come standard for all trim levels across the board, along with rear privacy glass as well. Then taking a look at the side mirrors, they are body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated with integrated turret signals then as well, believe it or not, for all trim levels. But if you go with the SE Black Edition or SEL trim levels, they will be power folding then as well. Then taking a look down at the wheel setup, 16-inch aluminum alloys for that ES trim level, 18-inch black painted alloys for the LE Black Edition and Rally Art trims, and then 18-inch two-toned alloys for the SE and SEL trim levels, and of course extra Rally Art graphics for the Rally Art. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, you will find a rear spoiler with an integrated brake light for all trim levels across the board. However, with our Rally Art trim level that we have with us here today, this rear spoiler is absolutely beastly because it's a Rally inspired rear spoiler, of course. Check out how large and in charge that rear spoiler is, man. You also have the Rally Art graphic found up underneath, and the bottom portion, the up underneath of the rear spoiler, is finished in red. That's interesting too. So anyways, let me know what you think of that rear spoiler. I think it's kind of cool. But rear window wiper affixed to the rear glass, of course. LED taillights do come standard on all trim levels across the board. Also though, again, I wanted to emphasize this carbon fiber rear diffuser comes standard with the Rally Art trim level. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Then you have the Rally Art mud flaps to the bottom as well there. So absolutely love it. But there is a single exhaust outlet tucked away underneath there. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next here. As always, here is that exhaust clip. Alright, so now since we are around to the back of the Eclipse Cross, when it comes to opening that rear lift gate, it is going to be a hands-free power lift gate for the SE, SEL, and Black Edition trim levels. All other trim levels, it's going to be a manual lift gate. But Once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 23.4 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there is a 60-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down. That's going to bump that up to 50.1 cubic feet then. There is a cargo cover back there that comes standard. You get some cargo lighting, of course. Tie down anchors. There is a single grocery bag hook back there. I always love seeing the grocery bag hooks. Not all SUVs give you them. And then if you lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you will find a spare tire. I definitely always love to see those as opposed to the fix the flat. But now let's go ahead and make our way up to the rear legroom. That comes in at 37.1 inches. For reference, I'm even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the rear seats there. You get rear seat back pockets. Then if you wanted heated rear seats, believe it or not, they are available. There is an SEL Touring package, which by the way, that was a trim level last year. It's a package deal this year that goes for $1,850, but that's going to give you heated rear seats and a bunch of other stuff then as well. But then making our way up to the front seats, cloth seating for the ES, the LE, and our Rally Art trim level here. Leather suede combination for the SE. I love that particular seating configuration. I reviewed that one last year and it was amazing. Leather seating for the SEL. Heated front seats though, coming with the LE trim level and up. So I have those on right now, even with the cloth configuration. I still got heated seats. That's pretty cool. 8-way power adjustable passenger seat for the SEL trim level. Overall, as far as seat comfort goes, the comfort, that was plenty fine. I think I just prefer the leather suede combination with that SE trim level. As far as the seats go, the best. So that's all I'm saying. Now let's go ahead and check out the steering wheel here. It is tilt and telescoping. It is leather wrapped for the SE trim level and up. And then you do get a heated steering wheel for the SEL trim level only then. Then make your way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key. You got Mitsubishi logo on the one side. When you flip it over, lock and unlock, but it is all keyless entry with a push button start for the LE trim level and up. And for our Rally Art trim level, it's a bright red push button start and it looks absolutely amazing. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that bright red engine start button located just to the right of the gauges there. And so speaking of, when it comes to the gauge cluster, tachometer is on your left, speedometer is on your right. The very, very interesting thing about the gauges is to adjust what is on the digital portion of the gauges, you would think you would have something on the steering wheel perhaps, like on every other vehicle in the world. However, that's not how you adjust what's on the gauges here. There's actually a few different buttons found just underneath of the gauges to the left on the opposite side of the push button start. That's how you adjust what is on the gauges. That's something that I don't think I've ever seen before or paid attention to before. It's one or the other, but I just found that super interesting. So you guys can probably hear me playing around with it in the background here. But yeah, it does tell you how many miles you have left until you hit empty. So I see that there. So that's pretty cool. Got trip A, trip B. There's settings up there. There's your super all-wheel control information. And then if you guys see that tree with the little leaves on it, the more eco-friendly you're driving, the more leaves are going to be on that tree, and then when you start flooring it, it takes the leaves off of it. So didn't know if you guys knew that or not. It's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. But anyways, I don't mind the gauges. I think they're just a little bit boring. They're black and white. Mitsubishi, again, if you're watching this, give them a little bit of color. I don't care what color you use, just give them a little bit of color, a little more emotion. Not just a basic black and white. That's kind of boring, but anyways, let's now go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. Panoramic sunroof. There is a standalone option for the SE trim level there that goes for $1,000. You can get the SEL Touring package. That's going to be another way to go ahead and get it. Auto dimming rear view mirror with HomeLink controls for the SEL Touring package again. Dual zone climate control for the SE trim level and up. Automatic climate control though for the ES and the LE trim levels. You're also going to get an upper and lower glove box. So when you open up this glove box here, there's going to be an upper section, which is where the owner's manual is, it looks like. And then there's a lower section as well. If you don't use the owner's manual, you could just take that out and you have a upper and lower glove box, like I was saying. So I always thought that was pretty cool. Just in front of the shifter, you have a little bit of rubberized storage for a cell phone, of course. Everything surrounding the shifter is finished in a nice smooth gloss black. I'm always a big fan of that. Got a couple cup holders right behind that. And then within the center armrest, it's actually a decent amount of storage in there. No charging ports or anything in there, but still a good amount of storage. I like the gloss black finish found on the doors here. I don't like the matte black finish found in the door handles. They could have made that a carbon fiber look or a silver look or something like that. Speaking of, there's a carbon fiber look found just around the power window buttons here. I am a big fan of that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the infotainment screen here. There's two different options when it comes to this screen. You're going to get a 7-inch color touchscreen display for the ES trim level and up, but then an 8-inch color touchscreen display for the LE trim level and up. But either way, you get Bluetooth and audio streaming, get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. The factory navigation system, by the way, is gone for 2026. I don't think anybody uses factory navigation anymore anyways. They just use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay after all. You can check out your radio information up there as well. So when it comes to the sound systems, there's 3 of them, believe it or not. 4 speakers is going to come on the ES, the LE, and the Rally Art. 6 speakers then for the SE and the SEL, and that SEL touring package gives you an 8-speaker sound system then. But having said all that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen is when you do put the Eclipse Cross in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. Not the highest quality rear view camera out there, but it does get the job done, and that is always going to lead us into safety. And so first, let me start by saying I always mention the IIHS ratings, and this one is not an IIHS top safety pick due to the poor crash test ratings. So that's kind of a bummer, but front side curtain airbags do come standard. Driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you got latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard lane departure warning and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. Then for the SE trim level and up, you're going to get a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, and then adaptive cruise control is going to come on the SE and SEL trim levels. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts, let me start by saying it's a very, very good looking SUV. That's definitely the first thing you always get drawn to. It's a very good name as well. And I'm just saying that because the Eclipse was an absolute legendary car back in the day. And I really do want Mitsubishi to absolutely crush it. I got a Mitsubishi hat on after all. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow Younger Mitsubishi on social media stuff at the bottom of the screen there. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews and all of our fun YouTube shorts we put on our channel, of course, as well. We do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.